So it's Friday and we're up at Castle Combe, sun's shining again, and it's actually a little bit unexpected today. We've got a last minute track day before the Castle Combe weekend on Friday. Steve, as you've probably been following on his channel, has been preparing his XKR, which he's been doing a huge amount of work on over the winter. And his plan was to test it at Combe and to race it a weekend. Unfortunately, due to various circumstances, the car isn't just quite ready, so he's decided to pull the plug on the race weekend, and he's obviously given us the opportunity to use the track day. So Jack's car has been repaired. We've sorted the fuel pump issue, it's back up and running, and today we're just going to get a few laps in the car ready for qualifying and the race tomorrow on Saturday. So it's a nice little added touch actually to get a little bit of a track day in before we race here. At least we can get some tyre pressures set, and Jack can get comfortable again in the car at Combe. We haven't actually done that much in Combe in Jack's car, even though it's our local circuit, so it'd be nice to make a small couple of damper changes, possibly a little bit of setup ready for Saturday. So I'll document throughout the day anyway, and we'll see how we go. So quick lunchtime update from Castle Combe. Track day is going well so far. It's pretty hot actually. It's about 25-26 degrees, so it's been really beneficial because we've been able to get the tyre pressures right with the track temperatures. I know that potentially will change tomorrow depending on what the weather's like, but at least we've got some good base settings to go with. We've only just started using a Nancan, as I explained in the last video, so it's good to see how they react here, and everything's positive from Jack's behalf. He's really comfortable in the car, says it feels really good. We've made a small damper tweak to the front around the tyres, but other than that it's pretty much as it was at Brands. So I don't think we're going to do too much in the afternoon. We don't want to wear the thing out for tomorrow for the qualifying session, so it's just important to make sure that Jack's comfortable in the car, which I think he now is. I might have a little go in it this afternoon just to see if I can work on some damper settings for him. There's a couple of things he's unsure about, and he's asked me if I'll give it a drive and see what I think around here. Combe can be quite tricky with dampers sometimes because it's quite bumpy in places, so we might be close, but I'll probably go for sort of 5 or 10 laps, something like that, see how it feels and come back in, and then put it away for tomorrow. But yeah, all in all, good progress, and it's nice to actually spend some time playing around with setup in the drive for a change. So fingers crossed we get a good result tomorrow, and the weather holds out and it stays dry. But I'll probably update at the end of the day, and then we'll go straight into qualifying tomorrow. So we've just been called up for race one. Still sunny and dry, so Jack's coming off second in class, 5th on the grid. He's got the inside line, so fingers crossed he can make some moves early on. So Jack's lining up 5th on the grid. That is second in class, which is good, and he's just behind Seaborn. He did a 1:19.5, which is about where we expected the car to be, and I'll be honest, in its current state, I don't think there's a huge amount of time we can find with the setup of the car. So we have made a couple of rear damper changes since this morning, so fingers crossed that helps and tries to settle some of the oversteer. But like I said, I don't think there's going to be a huge amount. But one of the things we have found with the Nankang is they're really consistent. So Jack's been able to carry out those lap times consistently throughout the session. So we're hoping that some of the front boys start to lose a little bit of time and he can stay with them. And nearer the end of the race might have a little bit of time left in the tyre, but we'll see. I think Andrew's going to be having a good race as well because he's coming from the back, so with the issue he had with his bonnet, and hopefully Joe and Damien get a good finish as well. Oh, well, you actually want me to be serious? Yeah. Right, Jazz, what I want you to do, pick the inside line and just keep it pinned. No, it's actually a really good result. Jack had a good battle with Andrew Harper, which is in a different class, but that being a supercharged car with lots of power, which I think suits Combe, I think he did well. Andrew got back past him and he was just on his bumper the whole race, and last lap managed to get him, so absolutely brilliant result. He was a little bit slower than he was in quali, and he was getting quicker towards the end of the race, so can have a look at what the tyres were doing. Maybe we need to play around the pressures just to get more heat in this tyre. It seems to react different to what we used to, but no, all in all, good result. So that's why they were like one.
Oh, that beer's sweet.
That's what the commentators were saying on over the radio.
That's going to be a bit
Wow. Do you want me to press the throttle?
No, so I can already see.
What is it?
I don't know, but it's not returning. Unless there's something in it. Looks like the throttle's jammed fully open, so. So the brakes are cooked, clutch is cooked. So yeah, we'll wait for it to cool down and have a play around with it and see what's going on. I think something's jammed in the butterfly at the moment. That's the issue. So it looks like the air filter's broken up and pushed its way in and jammed itself on the throttle body. So it's jammed about 50% throttle, so like Andrew was saying, it's about 4,000 RPM, so he's having to slow it down on the brakes, etc., using the gearbox. So we'll have to wait for everything else to cool down to see if it's okay. Back onto the floor.
Yeah.
Right, up.
You ready to open the bleed nipple a little bit more?
No, just keep pumping.
Worrying about the bullets.
worrying about. It became a very.
Welcome! You are here on Soul Food Saturday. We have got chicken and bourbon whiskey with a honey glaze. Man, this is gonna be so good. Over here, we got a corn on the cob with a lime butter. And over here, we got a sweet corn going on. Man, this is Soul Food Saturday. Yeah! Soul Food Saturday.
Right, so race one went really well. Jack ended up P4 overall, but actually after the race, Colin unfortunately was underweight, so Jack got promoted to third, which is first in class, so really solid result for him. We're just doing a little bit of prep on the cars. Joe had a good solid finish, and so did Damien. Damien picked up a little bit of damage, which we've just knocked out and amended. But he had a really good race, Damien, actually, with Rick. Andrew unfortunately had a few issues, and his throttle was actually jammed at 4,000 RPM, so how the hell he finished the race I don't know, but spent the whole race trying to hold the car back on the brakes and using the clutch and gearbox to slow the car down. So we've already done the check over on that. We've changed the clutch fluid, changed the brake fluid, and it seems to be that the clutch is okay, so he's got lucky with that. Brakes are all good as well. We've also just changed the fluid, but there was a hell of a lot of air in there, so we boiled the hell out of the brakes. So, and we found the issue, which was part of the air filter that blown into the butterfly and jammed it open. So that's all straightforward. Where now Jack's car, we're just doing a couple of setup changes. We're swapping the wheels around side to side, changing some tyre pressures, and we're going to leave the dampers and the rest of the geometry where it is, and then hopefully we can have a good run off third tomorrow and see if we can run with the front.
This goes active, very active.
Hey!
So we're just getting ready for race 2. We did pretty much most of the preparation last night, so we're just making a couple of last changes to the car because it's a bit cooler today. The weather forecast is saying it's going to rain at 11, but there's no sign of it yet, so we're still on a dry setup, but we've made a couple of changes to tyre pressures due to the track temperature being different, so fingers crossed we'll see what that do. Jack's starting on third, so he should hopefully get away with the front of the pack, and it'll be interesting to see if he can keep up with the front boys today. But I still think we're a little bit off the pace with regards to lap time, but I just don't think it's there in the car. We've looked at the ultimate laps, etc., and they're not a huge distance away from what he's already doing, so we know he's maximising the car, so that's always good. Just been called up for race 2 on Sunday. Annoyingly, it looks like it's starting to spit with rain, but fingers crossed it holds out. We're on the dry setup, so fingers crossed it stays dry.
How you feeling, Joe?
Great.
Alright, good luck mate, I'll be on the pit wall, alright? yeah, so good result. Dropped back from Andrew, who was battling with yesterday, but turns out Andrew's put on the AO52 Yokohama, which we know is quicker. So, but yeah, ended up third overall. So really good result, first in class. That's what we needed.